Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever it is, whatever time it is, it doesn't matter. Welcome and have a great day. This is Brenda Judah with Integrity Biofeedback Academy, and this is your new Wednesday morning call. I noticed that Karen, I don't know if she's on yet or not, but she gave us quite a long name. Navigational and Integrative Training for your iLife iNfinity app, I believe is what the email is now. And I'm going to try to shorten that up just a little bit. But we are so happy to have you joining us this morning. We have some exciting changes that are taking place in the educational department for Quantum Life and Integrity Biofeedback Academy. And so we are excited to have you on board and very excited to be moving forward and just introducing some new ideas. What we're going to do, and I'm going to just quickly throw this out here this morning, this is something that Sharon and myself, we have both been very interested in, and that is talking with some of you out there who are using the iNfinity app and have been using it for quite a while in your practices. We would love to have you send us an email, let us know how you're using that, and we're going to invite some of you to come on and, if you're interested, that is, and talk about how you're using the app. I know that there are a lot of you out there that are licensed practitioners, and I just want to let you know that for those of you who are licensed, we will be asking you to also share how you're using the iNfinity in your practices. And just one word of caution is that we want to make sure that whatever we present to this group at large is within everyone's scope of practice, and that if you are presenting for Integrity Biofeedback Academy on these Wednesday mornings, we just want you to remember that not everybody is a licensed practitioner. So the information will be going out across the board to everyone, whether they are licensed or whether they are using it at home or whether they have certification, whatever the situation, we would like all of the information that goes out to be appropriate for people across all levels of education and understanding and use of the iNfinity app. So we just ask that in advance and ask you to be mindful of that. So having said that, please do send in some emails to us. You can reach us at integritybiofeedback@gmail.com. We've already received a couple already this morning, and we're happy about that. And some of you we've already spoken to in the past, so we'll be excited to speak with you in the future. Okay, I'm going to go ahead here and get moving on. Again, we want to always let you know that Karen Williams is the CEO of Quantum Life, and you can always reach Karen at quantum-life.com. We like to put that up there if you have any questions regarding the app itself in the sense of technical things, things like that. You can always email Karen for that information. This is Integrity Biofeedback's information, and we are on the web at www.biofeedbackedu.com. Again, you can join our Associates program. It is listed there on the IBA website, and also there's our email address and also our phone number. Just want to let you know, again, if you are just getting started with the use of your iNfinity app, on our website is how-to iNfinity videos. So you can take a look at that on biofeedbackedu.com. It'll show you how to download a Dropbox. It'll show you how to use the Quanta capsule, how you would get that. There are some other informational videos on there, and periodically we upload other informational videos. So check us out there at biofeedbackedu.com. Also this morning there are some handouts that we have added to your list there of items that you can actually download, and there should be a little icon somewhere on your screen that looks like a folded back sheet of paper, I believe. We don't have it on ours, but I believe that's what we've been told that it looks like on your device. And so if you go there, it gives you the opportunity to download some of the handouts that we have placed up there for you today. And what we have on there is the iNfinity Proficiency Training Syllabus, Stress for Success syllabus, Stress Management Certification Program, the syllabus of that and the outline of that, Principles of Energetic Intervention syllabus, and these are all some very, very important courses and important information for you to be taking a look at, and you can glean all of that today from the call. You can download those, and you can also get information on biofeedbackedu.com. And Sharon, I don't know if you wanted to take just a minute to talk about the proficiency course, or...
Sure, I'm ready to go whenever you are, because I'm very excited. If you can switch it over to my screen, you will see just how excited I am about this, what we're doing. There you go. I am excited. We've been working on this project for quite some time, and we're just finishing it up. I know some of you have ordered this course, and we're in the end stages. The problem occurred when we keep adding things to it. Now we're up to almost a 50-page manual, several hours of recorded recordings, videos that you can access, and here it is, the what you've been waiting for a long time, the iNfinity app proficiency training. And here it is. It's a step-by-step instruction. It does take you step by step from how to open up your app all the way through, and includes screen by screen, how to sit down and begin if you're working on yourself with your app, or if you're working on somebody else, if you have clients or patients, how to sit down and explain briefly what you're about to do with the app, then doing it step by step, where to go, how to figure out what you're supposed to do with certain clients and so forth, and then how to finish up with that person, how to prepare them for their experience. There's lots of information packed into this course. Again, the scientific basis, easily how to explain it to somebody if they're asking you questions like that. And I know we have clients, because we have a full client practice as well here, that do ask us, how does this work? What are you doing exactly with this quantum energy field and so forth? We also talk about the origin of disease and disorders in this course, ever so briefly. The benefits of the iNfinity app, which you can use this information as marketing, explaining again to others that you want to, potential clients and customers, to put this information on your website and share with them on your brochures. A good list for you to promote the app and what you're doing. Some legal guidelines so that you know if you're interested in getting involved using this with clients and as a practice and so forth, what are the things that you need to think about legally, and what you can do, what you can't do, what you can say, what you can't, ever so briefly, to get you started in all of that information as well. We have lots of courses designed that goes in depth on everything that I'm showing on the screen, but this will give you a good overall basis. Again, just basics to get you started with your app. You will get with this a complete manual. As I said, it's up to about 50 pages right now. The graphics are beautiful, if I say so myself. I'm in charge of the manuals. I'm the left brain, and Brenda is the instructor. She has, again, 15 years of experience with biofeedback, and as I always say, what a novel idea to get trained in biofeedback by a biofeedback practitioner and a instructor. Yes. So she has lots of good stories to share because of her experiences. No names, of course, but she's been through a lot with her clients in the last 15 years. So she brings some good practical experience on biofeedback in general, and particularly with the app that we've been using here in our practice for about 4 to 5 years now. So the next thing is, oh, and I forgot to change the spelling on the iNfinity. Oh, well, Anyway, it has been approved now by the Natural Therapy Certification Board. We are excited about that. We've been working on that for a while as well with this particular course. And you can take it individually, or you can take it as part of the Stress Management Certification Program, which is also offered by the Natural Therapy Certification Board, or approved by them, I should say. This course, believe it or not, is only $199. That includes all the recorded instruction. That even includes the manual that you're going to get with this. I'm not sure if that price is going to hold. No threats, but people have said, really, that's all that you're, for that whole entire course?
That was actually us that said that, wasn't it,
Oh,
Sharon?
so after all the hours and hours, maybe we did say that. So anyway, um, the recording is going to be great because you'll be able to fast forward if you already know the information for some reason. You can pause it to write down notes on the manual, or you can rewind and listen to us over and over again, whatever you want to do. So, and follow with the manual, which is going to be very detailed as well. So,
Well,
I
I
am
know
excited.
that that's what everybody's going to want to do is rerun us over and over and over. Don't you think?
Rerun. I don't know if I
Yeah.
like that expression or not, but
Okay. All right.
sometimes I feel like I've been run over, but I don't think that's what you're alluding
Yeah.
to.
No, no, I'm not. And Infinity. That was good. That's okay because I build all of our websites, and at one point I misspelled biofeedback, and it was up there for about a year and a half. And that just tells you that there is stress abounding in everybody's life. We'll try to get all of our P's and Q's together, though, and spell our things correctly. And at the very least, you know what the good news is that your brain will see it probably spelled correctly, unless you happen to be a left brain like Sharon. I want to talk to you real quickly this morning, and thank you, Sharon, for all that information about many things here. But I want to say to you, please start writing in your questions right now. I know we're going to have Karen talk to us a little bit about the conference in a bit here, and we're excited about that, all of the things that are going. I mean, Quantum Life is going ahead at an appropriate speed. I don't want to say we're running 1,000 miles an hour, because we're not. You know what? We're going at the exact appropriate speed that we need to be doing, and exciting things are taking place, and we're moving in a great direction. So we are excited and seeing really neat things happening. And I know there's been some concerns. People have, had some concerns about the people that have been in some of the more advanced courses, and now you're going to be coming in with everybody else on Wednesday morning. What we're doing right now in this kind of revamping is we're going to be taking your questions, talking about it, and making decisions about how the education is going to look as we continue to move forward. So we want your feedback. We need that. It's really, really important, and we certainly want your questions and the opportunity to move forward. So for those of you that are on the call that are just beginning to use your device, hang in there, because even all the questions that come in sometimes that are maybe a little bit more advanced than where you are, they're things that will help you as you're moving forward. And if something seems confusing for you, either ask us on the call to clarify, or send us a private email, or put it on the shelf and you will get to it, believe me. So that is a awesome thing. And those of you that are in the more advanced areas, send us your questions. We will make sure that we are getting answers for you. And as Sharon said, I've been in this field for a little over 15 years and working with these types of devices. And I have taught many medical doctors, many medical practitioners. Sharon and I have traveled to other countries. In one particular area, we taught an entire group, 8 different medical people, how to do these types of biofeedback devices and the functions of them. So we didn't just get started yesterday. We've been here, and we hope to be able to offer you education and support as we move along here that is very, very applicable to what all of you are doing. First thing I want to talk about this morning here real quickly, and then we're going to turn it over to Karen for a minute. And not every week is going to be all these commercials and all of this stuff, so just hang in there with us. We're just getting balanced again. And There's the term, balance. What you're doing with your devices is balancing, ladies and gentlemen, because you're not actually doing the changing. You're offering the support to the body through these energetic vibrational signals that you are giving back to the body through your iNfinity devices. And what it's generating is an environment where the body can begin to balance. And suddenly we have balance in the body, the mind, and the spirit. So that is so, so important. For those of you, again, just getting started, and those of you who have been in it for quite a while, I say without a doubt, I know those of you who have been in it for quite a while, who are using your devices to bring about balance, you begin to see the body making major shifts in time. But I also want you to remember that balance sometimes is very minimal. As we can see here, this is quite a deficit in these two areas, but sometimes balance is not that noticeable or imbalance. Sometimes it's very, very small. So those things will begin to change very quickly. So everybody, take heart. You are doing the right thing. You are balancing your clients, and that is exciting. And the things and the stories that we hear of people using these devices is really beautiful in its applications. I'm going to unmute Karen right now, and Karen's going to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about the conference coming up in November. Good morning, Karen Williams.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So yes, very excited about the conference. I do apologize for the delay in getting the schedule out and the information. We've had some changes with the schedule. Casey Conrad is now going to be speaking at the conference also. So we have Brenda and Sharon all day Friday and Saturday, Sunday as well. And we have Gail Mack, Mary Hardy, Dr. Frank Charles, Jimmy Holman, Nina Silva, and Casey Conrad. So it's going to be a great conference. And it's at the Embassy Suites, which is a Hilton hotel. All the rooms are suites, so nice big rooms to double up. And it's that information is actually on the Quantum Life Education site under conference. And there's a nice, beautiful picture there of the hotel. We will be having the Quantum Infinity second generation. We'll probably be in the beta testing stage, or kind of towards the end of the beta testing stage. We're just not sure yet whether it's going to be ready to be launched at the conference, but there certainly will be a lot of information to share at the conference, and a lot of enhancements, a lot of improvements. So it's a very exciting time for all of us, and for getting together too. I mean, just a lot of great information that will be shared with the presenters, as well as the iNfinity. So we're very, very pleased to be doing this conference again. Same time that we did it last year in November, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and that's in Orlando.
The only difference is going to be between Sedona and here is about 50 degrees, Karen.
Yeah.
Last year at the conference, I had never been to Arizona, never been to Sedona, always wanted to go, never seen the Grand Canyon. And so when we got out there, everybody was telling us, oh, what gorgeous weather it was going to be and all of this. So we were there the first 3 days. We were up on the rim of the canyon. There was 2 earthquakes. It rained. It snowed. It sleeted, and by the time we got back down to Sedona, we could see our breath. And I was saying, I didn't say what else could happen because I really didn't want to know at that point. But the only thing I can promise you in Orlando, because as you all know, we're in Southwest Florida here in the Naples area, but Orlando's about 4 miles north up the road. I can promise you there will be no sleet, no snow. I cannot promise you there will not be rain or tropical weather systems, but I can tell you there'll be no snow and sleet. So that's really a good thing. And Mickey lives there as well, so those are all very positive. So it is exciting, and it is just good to have everybody get together and chat about how they're doing this. And I don't want to frighten anybody away from the conference by saying that Brenda and Sharon will be there all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I am your MC for this, and Sharon and I on Friday will be offering your some courses for you during that day. But the rest of the time we'll just be MCs. We will not be talking all day, every day, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Sorry, we just switched from phone to computer. So all day Friday. Oh, hold on one second. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. I can hear many of you. There's quite an echo there.
Okay, that's better.
There we go. Yeah.
So yeah, all day Friday. So sorry, I missed what you said there. That's about okay. Friday. Okay. So you two are doing Infinity training all day Friday, correct? And then speaking, yes. Also speaking Saturday and Sunday.
MCing.
And MCing through the whole conference, yeah. Correct? Yeah. Yeah. And you are great. You are such a natural. So thank you.
I thought you were going to say such a nut, but thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, okay. I don't know you that well.
Oh, sure you do. It's the drugs. Did I say that? It's not really the drugs. It's the Infinity.
I just know you as a beautiful soul, and yes, you are a lot of fun. I wouldn't say you're a nut. But you are, yeah. Well,
thank you for that.
You're a great MC, and great to have you, and very grateful that you're MCing at this event. Did a great job last year.
Excellent, thank you.
To Brenda. And thank you, Sharon.
Okay.
Thank you. And Karen, while I have you on there, I have a question about the Infinity that you can answer, because we're getting questions about if people buy the Infinity app as it is now, just want to clarify the 2.0 that is coming, will that be a free upgrade?
Yes, it will.
Okay, because we're getting that question a lot at our office as well, that, you know, some people are hanging out even on these calls saying, well, maybe I should just wait and purchase because I want the 2.0 later, but
oh no, right, yeah, because then it will be $12.97. It will be $300 more.
Okay, good. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
awesome.
So
awesome.
we start beta testing September 4th. So if anybody would like to be a beta tester, please email me at Karen@quantum-life.com.
Super. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going to start moving forward with our questions at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead, Karen, and mute you again because I have that power. I have that power, as you know, and I like that power. So.
Okay, thank you.
She even thanks me for it. Okay, so I know Sharon sees some questions over there. So Karen, if you or Sharon, you know, everybody should be either Karen or Sharon. It would make it much easier for me. Do you have some questions over there that are coming in? I've got some over here.
Go ahead.
Okay. First thing I want to just mention to you is we do have a couple of questions coming in here about some of the panels in the Infinity, and we're going to get to that. This is talking about cells and how quickly they begin to reestablish themselves, or that they actually become healthy again as they are moving through their regeneration processes. So I hope you've been watching this as we were chit-chatting there, and this is about how long it takes for them to turn over. And so when you're working with somebody with your Infinity, one of the awesome things is if they have some issues with stomach or red blood cells or the liver or central nervous system, what happens is the body is regenerating itself very quickly. You can see these at the cellular level. So that is really an awesome thought for those of us who are working with the Infinity, because again, as you're offering that support, the body is beginning to heal itself from the very inside out, from the cellular level. So just bearing that in mind, that's how quickly the body regenerates itself. Also, there was a question last week, and then we'll get to the questions that we have now. Somebody was talking about B12 in relationship to tinnitus, but also somebody was asking about B12 in relationship to sleep issues. This actually came from Dr. Mercola's website, and if you don't know Dr. Mercola, you need to. It's Dr. Mercola. It's Mercola, and it's mercola.com. And he has some fantastic information on there. And this is just a little bit of information about the overall depletion or deficiency of B12 in our bodies, and that it has a huge impact. You can see here that the body depends on B12 for a host of functions, as he says, maintaining normal energy, healthy neurological activity, including mental alertness, healthy cardiac function through supporting normal homocysteine levels, easing occasional stress and sleeplessness, maintaining healthy cell growth and repair, promoting normal immune function, and supporting normal metabolism of carbohydrates and fats. So for those of you who are wondering about B12 and sleep, what happens is, and I'm going to say that in the course, stress, which we've talked a little bit about this morning, you're going to find out why the body would have a tendency to be consistently or chronically imbalanced with B12. It's all going to go back to a stress situation. So when the body is in that sympathetic nervous system, what happens? We have less hydrochloric acid in our stomach. We have less ability to absorb and to integrate and assimilate nutrients through our digestive system. Why? Because when you're in the sympathetic nervous system, the body greatly diminishes the energy to your digestive systems, and it also greatly diminishes the energy to your immune system. Why? Because it's on guard. It's saying, I have to keep you alive. I don't care about your digestion. I don't even care about your immune system. Right now, I am totally focused in on keeping this body alive. That's what the sympathetic nervous system is for, and that's what it has historically been for, and it was meant for us to stop over, visit there when necessary, and move on, but we stay in that area. So that's why we begin to have these ongoing depletions, and vitamin B12 deficiency is one of those. And as you can see, there is a host of things there that it is imperative to have the actual level of B12 in your devices. Guess what? You can go into the nutriopathy panel, and we'll take a look at that in just a minute, and you can go in and you can see what is the imbalance in B12. Look around in there. If you haven't been in there, please do go in there. There's some exciting things. Also, we talked about tinnitus last time on the call, and the B12 was mentioned in relationship to that. These are some things that help keep the nervous system healthy as well. B-complex vitamins, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, alpha-lipoic acid. You know, all of these things are so important to the nervous system, and the nervous system is so important to every single aspect of the body because it is carrying the information throughout the body. What we find with tinnitus oftentimes is that there is a imbalance in the auditory nerves. Sometimes it is a receding of the myelin sheath around those nerves, and so those nerves become kind of raw. And I think of it in terms of like the coaxial covering of your cable line. Everybody's seen a cable line, and you can see the copper wire that's coming out the end there, and it has that thick cable covering. It's protecting that so that that signal is covered and protected, and so that the signal is not lost. And the nerves, I think of the myelin sheath and the nervous system the same way. We want to keep it healthy, and here are some of the things that these 4 different areas here that will impact those nerves. So for those of you dealing with tinnitus, you might want to check in your nutriopathy panel there on the different B vitamins that you see. Check out and see what the imbalance is. You might want to check magnesium. You can always make up your own categories, remember, in the customized panel for things like omega-3 fatty acids, for alpha-lipoic acid. When you see that imbalance, it is not necessarily a diagnosis. It is telling you that at the cellular level there is some imbalance. So what you want to do, again, is offer a signal that allows the body to balance that. Okay? So there's some ideas for you on that. Also, I wanted to put up a list this morning. So many people say, Well, what happens to that nervous system? What's going on there? I found this actually on the web as well. This is just a very brief list of some of the common things in our experience that we have issues with creating problems for the nerves. You can see that. Look at there, found in nail polish remover. Well, I dare say a lot of us on the call have either pedicures, manicures. Some people have every couple of weeks. Some people have them off and on. You can see that we have aflatoxin found in peanuts and some of the other foods, albuterol, aluminum, ammonia, all of these different things. And this is, of course, as you can see, not a exhaustive list because it doesn't have on there the new the phosphates and things like that, glycophosphates that are in some of the other weed killers that are out there today. So there are so many things in our world that impact the nervous system because they actually act like neurotoxins. And when that happens, what happens? You don't get the information. It's like, again, having an interruption in a signal. When we're on these calls, sometimes we get a little hesitation or people will say, hey, we can't hear you all of a sudden. It's because that signal has dropped. Guess what? That's what's happening in your bodies. When we have so much stress going on in our bodies and the nervous system is overwhelmed because we're in that sympathetic nervous system and we're adding all of these different things to our bodies, what happens is that signal gets dropped. That's not a good thing. Really, it's not a good thing. Okay. We do have some other questions, and Sharon, I'm going to be bringing up some of the things here on the just to get our device up here. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. Okay, nope, that's not the one I wanted. Okay, Sharon, you have anything you want to chit-chat about as we do that? Nope, it's too late. Okay, go ahead. You have some questions?
I just have one. This is from a practitioner who is working with a client that even though they weren't necessarily working on the digestive area, balancing the digestion with the iNfinity, yet the client was saying at the end of the session that they were having a lot of digestion, I wouldn't say discomfort, but issues, gaseous type issues, or just feeling like things were moving around during the session. Can you, do you have any comments about why that would be?
Well, that is a good question, and I'm just going to rephrase that just to make sure I have it, that they weren't working actually with the digestive system, but the client was expressing through the digestive system during that time. The obvious things would be is that the client had had something to eat or maybe not had something to eat prior, maybe had coffee or caffeine or something prior that would have generated some discomfort for them. So it could have been just a coincidence. Which is the most, most common thing. However, when you are working in any area of the body, remember we are holistic. So you are, generating this amazing environment for the body to begin to make shifts and changes. So even if you were working, let's say, in the emotional profile, what happens is the body begins to relax. When the body begins to relax, the signals begin to move around. If the digestion has been impacted or if it has been diminished, as you begin to work in different areas of the body, let's say you're in the meridian profile or any profile, what you're going to find is that areas where the stress is landing the strongest are going to be the areas that might be expressing some of the shifts and changes. For them to have gastric issues, interestingly enough, in my office a lot of times, because digestion is so huge for, the population at large, a lot of times people will kind of reach down and grab their stomach and they'll say, ooh, are you doing something in there? And whether I am or I'm not, oftentimes we do have expressions in that digestive area. So what I would do if you have that coming up is please do look into the to the meridian profile. Look in there and see what's going on as far as small intestine, large intestine. You know, look to the nutrients and things like that, because that can happen. Okay, I have a question over here, and I'm not sure in which panel this question is being asked by Cherise. Good morning, Cherise. What does the minus sign, let's see what the rest of the question is here. What does the minus sign before the number mean? Okay, a couple of questions. Good. Well, we only have two panels where we have minus numbers. One of them here is in the emotional profile, and the other one is in the sensitivities profile. What the minus number indicates here is it is implicit. The minus number is not indicative of being a -2, as we see up here in affection. Okay, what it's telling us is that that minus is indicative of an implicit response. So what we're looking for here again is finding things that are out of balance. We have numbers here from 0 to 100 as the value on your emotional profile, as well as your sensitivity screen. Okay, the emotional and the sensitivities both have 0 to 100 as their value representation in the positive and the minus, or the positive and, well, I want to say the plus and the minus numbers. And all that means is that when you see a minus on either one of those screens, in this one particular, it means it's implicit, that the emotion is within the unconscious experience, and that the client is not aware that this imbalance or this emotion or this situation is actually impacting their behaviors. The plus numbers, or the numbers without the negative, without the minus symbol, are telling us that it is in their explicit consciousness. So in other words, they are aware of it at that time. And so when I have a 0 to 100 value, I am looking to see where the balance is. The balance is going to be at 50. And what I want to suggest to you is that everything well below 50 and everything well above 50 is out of balance. So I give a window of 40 to 60 as the area of balance, 40 to 60. Anything well below 40, whether it is a minus or a positive number, tells us that there is an imbalance. Anything well above 60, minus or positive, tells us there's an imbalance. So we just looking at these things here, we can see that affection is, there is an imbalance there. Okay, there is an imbalance here. These are implicit emotions. 62 and 67, even though these are, this is happens to be in the red, this is relatively balanced, so I'm not too concerned about that. I am more concerned about some of the extremely low and extremely high numbers. So I would like you just to be looking at the value of those numbers. Cherise is also asking, why does the number sometimes get higher after a session? I'm not sure if you want to type in and let me know what you actually mean, what kind of number. I'd like to know. I don't know if you mean here the rectification number, or if you're suggesting when you recheck. Just type into that, either into the chat or into the questions over there. You see, if you tap the little questionnaire, you can begin to type in over there. I have had numbers go from 702, okay, here she has it, I'm sorry. I have had numbers go from 702 to 810 after a session. That's very, very interesting. I have not had that experience for things to go up that high after a session. However, if you are balancing something and there is something else that is in the way of the body being able to balance that particular area, oftentimes the higher the number, we see that as an acute situation. So if you're trying to support the body in balancing one particular area and you're seeing a number on something else going extremely high or going extremely low. It's maybe telling you that the body needs you to go a different direction, that there is something else that needs to be balanced before you can actually work with whatever the situation is that you were originally wanting to see the shift in. So sometimes you just, again, have to work with the body's, well, not sometimes, you always do have to work with the body's innate wisdom on that. And oftentimes when we have licensed doctors, medical doctors, practitioners, things like that, you guys have a lot of education, and so you kind of know, you get a pathway, and you know what that pathway might look like. But oftentimes the body has a real surprise. It says, okay, yes, but until we do this, you're not going to be able to help me to do that. So sometimes that will happen if we're not on the right pathway for that particular client. So you might want to pay attention to that. And I think that hopefully what you're saying is when you do a recheck. Okay? Okay, Sharon.
Here's a question from Dolores, one of our favorite students. We have many, but she's one of our favorites. Here's a question about the emotions panel. Is there any interpretation of acute or chronic regarding the emotions? Good question.
Is there any interpretation of acute or chronic? Well, acute, of course, means that it is shallow, of an abrupt onset. So like anger could be acute in its expression, that yes. Well, anything could be acute. Anxiety, for instance. I mean, if you have somebody that's woke up in the middle of the night by a phone call, all of a sudden they can't go back to sleep because they've become so anxious because that phone woke them out of a deep sleep. And as mothers and grandmothers and wives, oftentimes women, then we immediately get all this projection going. So anxiety would be something that would be very could become acute in that situation. Things that are chronic, and again, I'm just kind of guessing what you're saying there, Dolores, but things that are chronic or have a chronic expression, I would tend to see as just being something that maybe you deal with more often, that there are situations that more often bring that particular vibration into play. So in other words, like we see affection there is really, really out of balance, okay, because it's well below 40, and it's telling us that that imbalance is, even when you add to it, implicit. So in other words, that client isn't even aware of the fact that they have an imbalance in affection, but it is deep there. It's very, very low number. So to me, it would tell me that that is something that the body tends to have an imbalance with on an ongoing basis.
Can I ask you also with that, would the DNA have anything to do with the chronic response, even the emotional aspect?
The DNA has a expression that is going on all the time. It has an impact on every single thing in your experience. So absolutely. In several of the devices I've worked with through the years, we've had individuals that have had emotional situations taking place, and when we go back to take a look at some of the deeper responses, we find that those are more of an ancestral type thing as they're coming forward. And yes, when you see something very, very chronic and you see it ongoing in that situation, yes, again, that can be a DNA related situation, but that still tells you that that vibration is present within the energy field or the broadcast of that person. You are part and parcel of those 23 chromosomes from your mother, 23 chromosomes from your father, and those chromosomes not only carry the color of your hair, your skin, your eyes, but they carry forward the energies of your belief systems that have been carried down through the generations. They carry forward predispositions for certain emotional imbalances. You know, when we have people that live in or we have whole families that express the same type of mental imbalance or emotional imbalance or physical imbalance. What happens is that vibration already exists, and depending on the environment in which that client is or that person is, you're going to see those things manifest and come forward. And yes, they can start out as everything, I believe, starts out as that vibration within that broadcast of that DNA.
Good. Is that what Candace Pert's book is all about? Is she the one that wrote Molecules of Emotion?
Molecules of emotion. Well, she talks about the neuropeptides and some of the different aspects of how we get these biochemicals that just kind of flood through our bodies. And so hers is a little bit different, but Deepak Chopra talks about the blueprints that we have, and a lot of our spiritual slash metaphysical slash epigenetics talk about, or epigeneticists talk about that portion of the broadcast of the human being.
Good. I was just thinking with people just starting into this, we need to, and we do, recommend books and readings to get you into more in-depth on the field and so forth. And those are great reads right there with Candace Pert, P-E-R.
PERT, yes. And you can go to www.biofeedbackedu.com and go to the bookstore, because not only are textbooks on there, but you can look at there's some great books on there. Matter of fact, those of you who are getting excited about Nina Silver coming to the conference, Nina's book, the Rife Handbook, is in there, and so you can order all of those through our website on and it actually takes you to Amazon to get those. Okay, Sharon?
That's all from over here.
Okay, I see a long comment over there, but we'll let that be then. Okay. Again, as we are moving through these next several weeks and we are actually beginning to integrate everybody together, get your questions ready for us. Send us those in emails as you think about them through the week. If you think, oh man, I wished I'd asked that on Wednesday morning, wonderful. Drop it in an email, send it to us, get it out to us so that we can answer your questions and talk about it. We are going to be talking about bringing forward, as I said earlier, we want those of you who have been in practice for quite a while with your device to be sending us an email. And if you're interested in maybe taking over a Wednesday morning class at some time, just talking about how you're using it. I know that there are some things on the handouts, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who sent those to us. I know I have it written down, but we were talking all about the chakras and the colors, and we were talking about different situations that we have within that particular, the aura, the chakra, the systems like that, the sacred geometry. If you are out there and that is your specialty, send us an email. Let's get together and let's talk about some of these things and bring them forward to everybody that's on the call. Again, check out the handouts. There are several syllabuses in there for those of you who may be interested in learning a little bit more and going a little bit deeper. As I mentioned earlier, we talked a lot about tinnitus last week, and we had several comments about the fact that that is something that people so often deal with. You know, one of the other situations that I might bring forward to you is that people oftentimes have underlying chronic sinus situations, things like that. So again, when you're going into that nutriopathy, you might be finding things like that and finding nutrients that the body is having on an ongoing imbalance for things like that, tinnitus. I want you to think about your meridian profiles. So many of these profiles have to do with, again, or all of them in the meridians, have to do with the flow of energy throughout the body. So what you want to do is come in here, and if you're looking specifically for things to help with, again, specific situations, just drop by clicking on this little eye right here. Let's just tap that right now. Look at this. it gives you an opportunity to look and see where this meridian actually flows through. And you can see that the bladder meridian, the urinary bladder meridian, is huge. It has an impact on so many areas of the body. If you're not in love with the meridian profile, you need to be, because the energy flow through the body, again, is imperative for what? For health, for communication. So when you're working here, like I say, if somebody is having issues, let's say with sinus or eye issues, look at your urinary bladder. Look at these different points. Run a scan here. Test to find out what areas are showing you an imbalance in the energy flow. Oftentimes people come up to me and they tell me that they have so much knee issue. They have a lot of issues in their knees. Well, we know that the bladder has an impact, the kidneys have an impact on that. And also, let's just take a look here. When we go to the gallbladder meridian, this happens to be your right knee. People that have issues with the right knee often are because they have a referral to that right knee from an impact of chi or energy not flowing appropriately throughout the energy field or meridian of the gallbladder. Also, for those of you with tinnitus or dealing with hearing or deafness or issues in the ear, take a look here. These are your points. This device, even though you hold it in the palm of your hand, is a huge, huge, impactful device. When you're wanting to know what's going on as far as energy flow throughout the body, meridians is a fantastic profile to go to. So again, those of you with tinnitus, come in here, check the gallbladder area, check your meridians to see what they are. And again, if you're having knee issues, could be because of an imbalance in energy. Take a look at this. Come in here, find out. Look at how this has to do with the foot. So many people have issues with their feet. And if you will just, again, take a few minutes to look through here, I think you'll be quite amazed at some of the areas that could be impacted by these different meridians. And again, you can see here that the kidney, oftentimes I'll have people come in and say to me, oh, my foot hurts, or the arch hurts, oh. And so immediately I know to come in here and see where we're having a imbalance in energy flow. If you can get the energy to flow through the body in a healthy way, what takes place is that flow of energy. How powerful is that? It's huge, huge. This is another area. I just pressed the triple warmer or triple heater. This is another area where we pick up some things also for tinnitus. I just wanted to talk to you here too briefly. Sharon has had some problems with the palm of her hand. And so she was going around kind of holding her hand. It was really, really bothering her. And so I said, oh, okay. I said, well, let me just work with you and see what's going on here. So we found imbalances here in the heart meridian even. And you can see that she was having some issues in the palm of her hand, but it wasn't really, I don't believe, the palm of her hand. I believe it was the energy flow coming through that particular meridian area. Also, another area that popped up for her was pericardium. And you can see, again, right down through the palm of her hand. So this particular area, and we do have some neat things coming up about meridians. This is a great place for you to go and to be experiencing different things and looking around. Okay.
And can I just say about that after you worked on it with the iNfinity, it did get so much better. I was just having sharp, pulsating pain in this one area. Then yesterday, the pain began to come back a little bit. So last night I put myself on the iNfinity, and sure enough, those two meridians were again imbalanced. They were kind of on the border, so I know it was better than when you had worked on it, but still, you know, it's reoccurring again, and so I just need to keep working that area.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope, again, that those of you who are new, or even if you've had your iNfinity for a long time, take a look at this. You know, some people have other devices, which we do. We have a device that has about, 7 to 8,000 vibrational frequencies that we can send out and everything. We love that machine. Love it, love it, love it. And the iNfinity is every bit as capable as what we have in our larger devices. Okay? They are so customizable. And the thing of it is that it's all about energy, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are moving energy around, that is the most important thing. If you can help people to balance their energy, what happens? Their body returns to health, because it is the blockages of those energy fields. We know that we are made of energy. We are electromagnetic fields living within electromagnetic fields, all kinds, good, bad, indifferent fields of energy we are in contact with all day. So our energy naturally becomes somewhat out of balance just by the impact of so many other energy fields. And then when you add to that the trauma dramas of life, and one of those could be just watching CNN. I recommend strongly to my clients, don't watch the news. And they say, well, I have to be in the know. And I'm saying, well, it hasn't helped you so far, has it? Because nothing has changed. You haven't been able to change any political atmosphere. You haven't changed the weather for Southwest Florida getting a tropical depression. You haven't been able to impact the politics or the financial wherewithal of Greece to keep it from doing what it did, and blah, blah, blah. Right? I mean, I am telling you, and I'm giving you permission to be selfish. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Get yourself balanced. And when you do, the body goes, oh, thank you. That feels great. When you're balanced, everything flows the way it needs to. Other things that cause an imbalance in your energy are things like surgeries. A lot of us have had surgeries, whether it was something minor or something major. When they cut through certain areas in your body, they are cutting through what? The nervous system. They're cutting into the lymphatic vessels. They're cutting into the circulatory system. They're cutting into the energy systems of the body. So if you want to do one really positive thing, you want to go in and take a look at your meridians and take a look around and help your body have a more healthy flow. Another place to go, of course, is spinal energy. Also is about exactly that, the energy flow of the body and the nervous system. Okay, we don't have any other questions, and we are about 3 minutes ahead of time, but we're going to go ahead and let you go now. Thank you for getting on the call today. Again, I want to encourage you, if you have questions, please, please send those out to us. We're more than happy to get involved and answer this. Again, send us your thoughts about wanting to talk about some other things here on the call. We're going to talk about some customized panels here in the near future, things that we do here at Integrity Biofeedback. We have been to doing just basic navigation, but now we're going to have an opportunity to step forward too and talk about a little bit of the things that we do here that are a little bit different and a little more in depth with our iNfinity app. So again, thank you for joining us this morning, and we look forward to talking to you next Wednesday, and we look forward to getting several emails this week about all kinds of things, exciting things. And remember, keep watching for those emails to come out. Download your handouts, check out some of those courses, and we will talk with you and see you next week. Till then, we send you light and love and blessings.